In this video, we're addressing the most common question I get for landscape photography. What kind of gear are you even using? We're looking at what gear is in my bag for 2019, coming up. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome into the channel where I post weekly videos on how you can improve your photography through in-field and post-processing tutorials, as well as gear reviews. So if you're into landscape photography at all, consider subscribing to this channel. Now, in this video, we're really looking at the most common question I get as a landscape photographer, because people are so obsessed with gear, myself included. What gear are you using for your landscape photography? And I just wanted to take a peek inside my bag and answer that question outright. Now, this video kind of got off the ground and running because just last week I found myself in a sticky situation in Haiti, and I actually had to be emergency evacuated via helicopter to the airport and then fly back to the United States. But it got me thinking, like, I had to have a bag packed ready to go for 2 days straight. At a drop of a hat moment, I had to be ready to jump on a helicopter and evacuate. And it got me thinking, like, what gear am I going to take? What's most important for me in landscape photography? What am I gonna put in my bag? Forget the underwear, forget the socks. I forgot all those things. I packed all my camera equipment. First, let's look at the bag. The bag that I use for landscape photography is this Mindshift Gear dual ultralight 36-liter backpack. And when I'm choosing a backpack, and I think this is really important for landscape photographers, I really look at versatility and adaptability, and also accessibility. So when I think about a backpack, what I'm looking for is how many places can I take it via car, airport, airplane, that I don't have to check it, and how many ways can I access this or adapt this to different situations. And this bag is probably one of the best ones that I've found. It's lightweight. It allows me multiple different packing options. It's got a compartment in the side where I can put all of my gear and an access point here. And it also has a hard case in the bottom where I can keep all of my camera equipment in. If you want a full review on this bag, click or tap your screen where the card is showing up right now. Let's take a look inside the bag first, see what kind of gear I'm using for my landscapes. All right guys, the first piece of gear that I'm using is actually a new piece, and a lot of photographers may be slow to jump on this, but this is the DJI Osmo Pocket. And what I love about this is, number one, it fits in my pocket. Number two, it's so small and light that I can use it anywhere in any situation. I use this a lot, like trail scouting and scouting different locations. I can easily shoot a panorama. I can use it for like documenting video in different areas. It's a really solid option. It's a pocket gimbal that I can use. As you can see, it keeps everything perfectly level and still. And at $350, like, that's a pretty good steal. The shoots in 4K, you can do time lapses, you can do motion lapses. It's a really solid price to pay for something this good. And by the way, all this gear that we're gonna be going through is linked below in the video description. All right, piece of gear number two is in the side pouch. And that's gonna be my favorite telephoto lens. This is a Sony 70-200 f4 lens, really solid lens. It's light enough that you can pack it on long hikes. It's durable enough that you can shoot in the rain with it. I've shot in the snow, in the rain, windy conditions, burning hot conditions. This lens is really, really solid. I've had to clean it off once after I shot in some sand dunes with it in really high winds. And this is a really good lens to have if you're a Sony shooter. If you're Canon or Nikon, you can also find lenses like this, very similar to this. If you want to check those out, I have a full list of those. It's linked below in the video description, and it's my Amazon page that you can check out with all the recommended gear, no matter what kind of company you shoot with. Canon, Sony, Fuji, Nikon, all those are listed on that site for you to check out to see which gear is best for you and your landscape photography. All right guys, next up is kind of like a 2-in-1. So next up we have the camera that I actually shoot with, and I actually did a full review on this camera. If you click or tap your screen with the card that's showing up right now, the Sony a6000. There are multiple Sony a6000 models. You have the 6300, 6500, the new 6400 that recently came out. They haven't upgraded the specs enough to really upgrade that camera for me, so I still shoot the a6000. I have another a6000 that you're actually watching me on. I have that as my backup camera. And then I also have the Rokinon 12mm f2 ultra wide angle lens that I use as my wide angle for those like epic foreground huge shots fitting a ton into the frame. I use this lens for that. There's a lot of beef about this lens, about, you know, getting some areas on the edges of your frame, like shooting, get some gaps, get some vignetting. I haven't really had a whole lot of issue with that at all, so I don't really see what people are talking about with that. This is a budget lens, an ultra budget lens. If you want a good wide angle and you're on a budget, click or tap your screen with the card coming up right now for a full review on this lens. And then lastly, the last piece of gear that I use for my landscape photography, I like to keep my gear pretty simple, and I also like to pack bags in bags that you'll see, obviously. I have a Mountain Smith bag that I carry my drone in, and that's just in case I like get stopped in airport security and I have to easily get my drone out. I can just pull this extra bag out, put it back in, whatever. If it's too heavy, if I need to pack some clothes, I can wear this around my waist and easily get to my drone as well. That's what I think about when packing gear, is versatility and accessibility. How many ways can I adapt how I'm wearing my gear? I use the DJI Mavic Pro, if I could even get it out of this bag. And this is just a really solid drone. I know a lot of people are upgrading to the Mavic Pro 2, but I still haven't really seen like a lot of specs lists. Like, this still does an amazing job. All I want a drone to do is shoot quality photos, quality panos, and quality 4K video. This drone easily does that, and I'm very happy with this purchase. If you're on a budget, go for the Mavic Pro, because once the Mavic 2 came out, the price on the Mavic Pro dropped significantly, and you can easily get this drone for under $1,000, and you're getting a very high quality drone that you can shoot with from the sky. Like, have you ever gone out and thought, well, I wish I was a little bit higher in the sky and this composition would be perfect? This drone is going to help you do that. I highly recommend drones for landscape photography, but follow the rules for drone shooting. All right guys, that does it. This is my whole setup. Like I said, I like to keep my landscape photography pretty simple and deciding what I'm going to use when I go out to shoot. So you have camera body, backup camera you're watching on, wide angle lens, 70-200 drone, and the Osmo Pocket, which I'm gonna be using this a lot in this coming year to shoot both panos and some video content, even time lapses and motion lapses. Like, I don't want to carry around a huge slider all the time to shoot time lapses. I can easily use this. I can fit it in my pocket, keep my gear light. And a lot of people are gonna kick back on that, saying you can't make high quality time lapses. Well, I'm gonna beg to differ. I'm gonna be trying this out a lot this year. All right guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want any of the gear or any info on any of my recommended gear, again, click the link below in the video description on my most recommended gear for landscape photography. And also, if you're into landscape photography, subscribe to this channel. You can also continue watching. You can watch this playlist on some more recommended gear and gear reviews that I have, or if you want to watch another video from this channel, click or tap your screen right here. Easily subscribe, click or tap your screen up here in this corner. Thanks so much guys. See you next time. Keep shooting.